Hello everyone, this is Last Kiss by Megansabode. Summary. Kiss me, Himiko said. They stared at each other. Ochako's eyes rounded with surprise and Himiko's narrowed with anticipation. Never mind. Himiko turned around. But no, Ochako wanted to. Ochako wanted to kiss her. Ochako wanted her. Ochako didn't expect Himiko to show up in broad daylight on her balcony asking her to show Himiko how to be a normal girl. But who was Ochako to turn her down? Or two gay girls run away from the responsibilities of war and love each other for just one night. This has almost 2,500 words and it is a one-shot, so let's get into it. Kiss me. Ochako didn't think that the day before the greatest war in the history of Japan would be spent with a villain who had tried to kill her months ago, and that it would end with her making out with said villain for hours on end. But when could she ever predict anything? She laid on her bed that morning, scrolling on her phone. So many people had fled the country, even though there was still one day until the war officially started, something that had been creeping up on her for months. More and more people were leaving by the hour. The League of Villains had sent out a warning a couple of weeks ago, saying they would be launching an attack on UA High on the 8th of February, and it was the 7th. A day left. Uraka! She heard Izuku yell from outside. He usually checked that she was awake in the morning. You up? I'm getting up, she yelled back, swinging her legs over the side of her bed. She groaned, then got up and walked into her bathroom. Katsuki was probably her only motivator to still brush her teeth. He always commented on people's bad breath in the mornings, and she didn't want to be the culprit of that. Even after he'd been making out with Izuku, they tried to keep it discreet and secret, but it was all too obvious when Izuku's lip was swollen and Katsuki was looking more smug than ever. He would complain about Izuku's bad breath. She spat out her toothpaste and wiped her mouth with a towel, then brushed her hair, another habit he earned from Katsuki's crude yells across the rooms. Then she walked out, and a flitter blonde in the corner of the eye made her groan. Aoyama, I told you, I have no... She dropped her hairbrush when she saw Himiko Toga, a villain she knew all too well. The villain who had tried to slit her throat just under a year ago, and she was here. Oh, fuck, she was here. In her own fucking bedroom. Himiko turned around, a grin painted on her pale skin. Hey, you have good taste in music. I didn't know you were into Taylor Swift. Ochako's voice hitched in her throat. Himiko was holding up her CDs, one she had managed to get from a second-hand stores. She was lucky to score a Taylor Swift CD. They were expensive as it was. Speak Now was the album's name. Unfortunately, it was only the original one, not the one Taylor actually owned. Ochako didn't listen to much music from America, but her father had made her listen to a few tracks from Fearless when she was growing up. Get off, Ochako said. That's mine. I know that's silly. Himiko laughed, but she put the CD down, much to Ochako's relief. Your room is really nice though. Very spacious. How the hell did you get in here? Ochako asked, reaching down to pick up her hairbrush. She quickly checked behind her, in case this was an ambush, but there was nobody there. I got in through the balcony. Your door doesn't lock. Yeah, Ochako knew that. It had never locked. I was sitting out here for a while. And then you went into your bathroom, and I went in here. Ochako stared the villain down. But you're supposed to be getting ready for the war, right? The attack isn't today. This isn't about the war, Himiko said, walking over to the end of Ochako's bed. Can I? Ochako slowly nodded, and the girl sat at the end of the bed, her bed. Shiggy's changed a lot. Dabby, he's not Dabby anymore. Jin died. Magna also died a while ago. Spinner's still trying to prove himself. Compress barely even speaks to me. It's just different, Himiko said. And whose fault is that? Ochako snapped. She didn't mean to make Himiko feel like shit. but after someone else had made you feel like shit, you don't really have much sympathy for them. Mine, ours, Himiko sighed. I just don't know. I wanted a place to belong, and that was the League. And the war happened, and that was either supposed to be our last hurrah, or the day we won. The day we won for good. And it wasn't either one. And then tomorrow, I have to fight you again. I just can't do it. Ochako narrowed her eyes. What did she mean? She was perfectly fine trying to slit her throat last year. I want you to show me what it's like to be a real girl. Like you. Not a villain who ate a bird when she was 6. I want to be you, but not actually you. Ochako guessed the last part meant that Himiko didn't want to just change into her, but be like her. Ochako could turn her away and Himiko would probably leave. And then tomorrow, they'd face each other and fight to the death, or however many days this next one was bound to go on for. About a year ago, Ochako would have used her quirks to float Himiko into the skies and out of the world. To achieve true peace was to get rid of those who denied it. But she didn't want to do it anymore. She believed Himiko. Fine. Himiko practically jumped with joy. But a few ground rules. You can't leave this room, not for a second. If someone walks in here, you hide. And not under the bed. If they hear a sound, they'll look under there first. If you see back go anywhere, I mean anywhere, hide. Don't get any blood at all. Get rid of all the vials you might have right now. And just don't make this difficult. Himiko cocked her head to the side. Difficult how? Don't make me get attached to you before I have to kill you. Himiko paused, then nodded. Touché. Ochako pursed her lips, and then sat down on the bed. So, new friend, what's first? Ochako rolled her eyes and looked over to her wardrobe. Clothes. She grabbed a few things she'd gotten from the mall with Mina and Momo, and Himiko sat on her bed as she held them up. Why do they look like that? Ochako narrowed her eyes at Himiko's word. Sorry, I just don't see pristine, clean clothes much. Ochako sighed and threw a pearl in Himiko's direction. Get changed in the bathroom. Himiko smiled and ran into the bathroom, and Ochako was left alone in her room. How was she supposed to spend an entire day with Himiko? What could she even do? And what would Izawa do if he found out? Expel her? Publicly humiliate her? She was taking a huge risk. Himiko was a fast changer. She was in and out within minutes. Ochako jumped and shrieked as Himiko's hand grabbed her shoulders from behind. Boo! Ochako turned to see Himiko laughing, her hand in front of her mouth as she stood in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. They were a little big on her, but not too big. In all fairness, Ochako had gone a couple of sizes up since she joined UA, and she guessed that she had just a bit more food than Himiko usually had while she was staying at home with her parents. Holy shit, Himiko! Ochako yelled. Don't do that! But it was funny! Himiko grinned and started looking around Ochako's room. You have books? Yeah, books were the foundation of life. Why wouldn't Ochako have some? Oh, Himiko said, picking one up. I don't think I've read a book since Yeah. Ochako's eyes narrowed as Himiko turned around. Can I read it? Ochako slowly nodded as Himiko sat down next to her and started to read the book. They both didn't say anything. Himiko read the book as Ochako stared in space. Sometimes the silence would be fractured by a chuckle or a gasp from Himiko. But nothing happened. And it was peaceful. More peaceful than Ochako had ever thought sitting next to a villain who had tried to slit your throat a few months ago would be. Hey, Himiko said. Ochako looked at her. I have a question. Do girls like you have crushes and all those things? Ochako stared at Himiko. Why are you looking at me like that? I thought you liked Izuku. Well, yeah, but is it normal? I mean, you seem to like him too. Ochako stared at the floor. She wasn't sure whether she did like Izuku or whether she just wanted a crush, because after he got with Katsuki, she lost all feelings for him. Himiko sighed. Okay, anything else we could do? She asked. Ochako pursed her lips. I don't really do much anymore. Not after the war. Food? I mean, you could go get some. And Ochako? Ochako stared at Himiko. What? What is it? Have I got something on my face? Ochako blinked, snapping out of her trance. No, you're good. She looked away. Why the fuck was she looking at Himiko like that? Gawking at her. Himiko wasn't cute. Himiko wasn't cute. Himiko wasn't cute. Fuck. Himiko was cute. The way she laughed, the way she smiled, the way she stared at in confusion at Ochako, the way she... Oh, shit. Ochako may have fallen in love with a villain. She scrambled to pack up her phone and she messaged Katsuki to bring up some food for her. Fine, I'll get some fucking shit for your lazy ass. Thanks. Whatever. You're welcome. Ochako rolled her eyes and put her phone away. Go into the bathroom. Baku's coming up with some food. Himiko nodded and went into the bathroom. And within a few minutes, Katsuki was knocking at Ochako's door. Come in, Ochako called. He walked in and dumped the tray on her desk. Thanks. Whatever. He put his hands in his pockets. Have you actually gotten out of bed today? Yeah. Bullshit, he said. I did, she shouted. And there's no need for you to stay here, so... Are you hiding something? Ochako went pale. What? No. Bullshit. He reached over to open the bathroom door. Hey! His eyes widened as he opened it and saw Himiko standing there. Hey, Bakugo? What the fuck? He jumped back. Uraka, do you? She nodded. Yes, I know. He stared at her. She just showed up. Just showed up? That's Toga, he yelled. Oh, fuck no. He went to open the door, but Ochako grabbed his arm. Don't you fucking dare. You are not telling Izawa about this, or I'll bash your head into this door and Izuku will have to come pick up the pieces of your broken skull. You hear me? He stared at her and slowly nodded, then backed out of the room. Ochako closed the door behind him and turned to see Himiko picking up the food from her desk. Himiko? Yeah? Why are you actually here? Ochako asked. And no crap about wanting to be normal or anything. Why are you here? Himiko stared at Ochako, a piece of toast in her hand. Because I think I'm in love with you. Ochako's eyes widened, and she stared at Himiko. Her eyes searched in the girl's face for an ounce of a lie, but there was nothing. This was real. This was authentic. I can leave. No, Ochako said. Don't leave. I don't want you to. Himiko nodded slowly, and Ochako sat down on her bed again. Himiko brought the food over. This is so weird. I know, Himiko said. I mean, it was fine when I liked Izuku, because, he's the boy, and he looks similar to someone I used to know. Ochako locked eyes with her. But I'm a girl. But you're a girl. Himiko nodded, and then she looked down at the floor. You know what? Forget about this. Himiko got up, because this is never going to work. What? Ochako asked. You and I both know this can't work. Himiko walked over the door to Ochako's balcony, and Ochako got up too, because I'm a villain, and you're a hero, and I love you. Ochako finished her sentence. Yeah, and don't you think I feel something for you too? Himiko froze on the doorway, the door teetering on its hinges. What? I don't know what it is, But it isn't some stupid friendship, like. Himiko narrowed her eyes as Ochako moved closer. So please, just stay. Ochako expected Himiko to turn around and leave. She expected Himiko to say goodbye. She expected to be alone for the rest of the day. The day before the war. Kiss me, Himiko said. They stared at each other. Ochako's eyes rounded with surprise and Himiko's narrowed with anticipation. Never mind. Himiko turned around. But no. Ochako wanted to. Ochako wanted to kiss her. Ochako wanted her. No. Ochako grabbed Himiko's arms and pulled her closer. Himiko's eyes widened as her face and Ochako's were just inches apart. Himiko stopped moving. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Ochako said, yeah, I want to kiss you. Himiko smiled, then leaned in, her chapped lips brushing against Ochako's, before Ochako smashed her lips against Himiko's. She didn't really think a mere make-out session would end up with them staying up late, talking about the war and kissing each other to make each other feel better, and she didn't expect herself to never want Himiko to go. Well, I've got to go back. Himiko moved away from Ochako. Ochako's hand slipped from Himiko's waist, and she suddenly grabbed onto the curve, pulling Himiko back. Ochako! No! Ochako put her finger over Himiko's lips. No, you can't go. I won't let you. I need to go. Himiko moved Ochako's finger from her lips and pushed a strand of brown hair out of her face. Ochako shook her head as Himiko brushed her cheek, her nails slightly digging into it. Take my blood, Ochako thought. Take a piece of me with you so we can both be together and transcend lifetimes. But Himiko didn't. She just smiled. Wiping a tear rolling down Ochako's face and got up, she crossed the room, over to the door of the balcony and looked back. I'll really, really try not to kill you. In Ochako's eyes, that meant, I love you. And so, she watched as Himiko left, her lips barely forming the phrase until the blonde-haired, blood-drinking girl couldn't see her anymore. I'll try not to kill you, either, Himiko. Draw. Shut. I love this one so much. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. I love megansabode. If you can't tell, they're like my favourite author to podfic. Go check out their other fics. All my podfics of theirs. I have a playlist of theirs. So yeah, bye. Hope you enjoyed. See you maybe another time, maybe not. Who knows?